Welcome to China-log. I'm Sandra Tay. Today we're talking about China 20 years in retrospect. In 1991, China was accepted into the World Trade Organization after 15 years of negotiations. This move, in effect, coupled with wide-ranging economic reforms and financial investment pouring into the country, has propelled the country forwards to become today the second largest economy in the world behind the United States. However, today we're going to talk about the social aspect of how life used to be and how much it has changed in just a matter of less than 20 years. The people, the tradition, the culture. Please welcome with me in the studio today, Bobby Ong and Hilda Lui. Bobby Ong is currently the Vice President of Sales and Marketing of the China region in Kempinski Hotel, and Hilda Lui comes to us from the Director of Marketing and Communications of the Westin Hotel. Thank you so much for joining us.
Most welcome.
Appreciate it.
Yes.
Now, you have come to China in the 1990s when China was just opening up to the world, really, and they're experiencing a lot of new things, such as different foods, fashions, and of course the floating population pouring into the country. And being in the hotel industry, do you feel like you were right smack in the middle of seeing the different kinds of people that were, groups that were forming in China? You saw the, people of Beijing that were born and raised in Beijing, and then you also saw the newcomers into Beijing from all the outskirts, different provinces, and then you also saw the foreigners that were pouring into Beijing, right? Was it an interesting time to be in China? Bobby, Hilda?
Well, I guess, yes, it was very interesting because I could see that there's two different types of lifestyles happening in the same city, the expatriates and the local Chinese.
Right.
And it's very evidently that the locals are sort of like not really integrating into the expatriate lifestyle.
Oh,
it's very different.
Because it was so so new. Everything was so new.
But even in 1990s already, actually, it has already improved drastically.
Yeah.
You know? But it's just that maybe because we came from a much more developed country, and that's why we feel that there's changes. But I think at that time already, many things has already improved tremendously. I mean, if you read the history of, or read about the stories of those people who's been here since 79, 75, 76, where there was no fax machine and they had to use different things, and that was already difficult for them, Right. Well, I mean, I came in 1994, and in Malaysia opened to allow the Malaysians to come in to China in 1990, and being an incentive planner, I had to come and discover China. So I started all the way from Guangzhou, all the way to Guilin, to Xi'an.
Oh my gosh, so you have been to different parts of the country.
Correct.
Was it very different, vastly different?
Oh yes, vastly different. At that time, it was still gloomy, and and all those. So, and it was 1990.
Wait,
right?
what do you mean gloomy?
Gloomy. I mean, I feel that I've never seen sunshine. Maybe because the timing is wrong, but that's from memory. It's from memory.
Wait, do you mean like the weather or pollution, or are we talking about like there's virtually nothing in the country but
I
like
feel it's very
farmlands?
hazy.
Hazy, and not only that,
Really?
I remember